Alright, what's up guys? I'm gonna do a comparison, out of the box comparison between the Smith & Wesson Shield and the Springfield XDS. This comparison is gonna be right out of the box, so how you get them whenever you buy them. Hopefully there'll be a few things in this video that will kind of help you if you're having a tough time deciding between the two. I know I did, but fortunately I was able to get both. So we're just going to kind of go in here and see what the differences are. Now, the first obvious difference is the way they are sent from the factory. Springfield does a nice job of giving you a cool box with a lot of accessories. Nice little suitcase there. The Shield, they literally just send you a box and that's it. Okay. Obviously there is a price difference. The Springfield, I've seen it as low as $5, I've seen it up to $600. $600 one being the bitone, but $500 to $600 here. And I've seen these as low as $375 up to $450. So you have a little bit of a difference there. Alright, so let's open them up, see what you get here. Alright, Springfield. Everything is just all in place, really nice looking. Besides this thing, they put the paperwork with this thing over, and it always falls out or falls down in here, which is annoying, but we'll put that to the side. That's all your paperwork. This is a post recall, so I actually got a third magazine, which is the extended 9-round, which I have not used at all. It has the extension grips on there, so it actually came with 2 of those, so that's kind of nice. Then it has 2 flush 7-round magazines, which are, the magazines are just awesome for these things. They look really nice. You can see the Springfield Armory logo in there, so that looks really nice. They feel durable. I mean, yeah. You get an outside the waistband holster for it, a magazine holster, your back strap, which you can change on here, which you cannot do on the Shield, so just keep that in mind. You get a nice lock, and your brush. You got a tool in there for the retention screws on your holsters, and then you get replaceable fiber optics, which you get more than that out of the box. I just kind of butchered them up. It took me a little while to figure out how to do it without messing them up, but anyway. And then what you really wanted out of the box, the gun. Very nice looking. Feels really good. Quality seems like it's definitely there. One thing that you can note, especially with Springfield and the way they do things, is their attention to detail is awesome. From the magazine and their little logo, to just the way they do, the way they send their guns out, and everything down to the lock with their logo on it. Everything just looks really nice. So props to them on that. That's awesome. So we'll put this one aside for a second. Alright. And we'll open up the Shield. Now, Smith & Wesson does it a little bit different here, but the price, you know, like I said, can be an issue. You have all your paperwork, cheap lock, so, you know, that's kind of what it is. Put that aside. And, of course, the gun. The gun is, this one again, feels like quality. It looks good. All of these have the stainless slide and the barrel with the melanite finish. not a lot of complaints on the quality side. I mean, it just, you know, it's Smith & Wesson, and it does feel like quality. The magazines, you have your flush 7-round magazine, and then you have your extended 8-round. So that's that. Let's get these out of the box and show the guns side by side here. And one thing to note, depending on where you live and what your laws are, is the Springfield is pretty much ready to carry right out of the box. If you can carry outside the waistband, or if you like to, if that's your thing. You know, it's not the best holster in the world, but it'll get you by. It's definitely holds retention. Like I said, you can adjust that. So that's something to keep in mind. Just focus on the guns here. Alright, so as far as the footprint in the guns, as you can see, there is not a whole lot of difference here. Size, weight, dimensions, everything is really close, but I think it's the little subtle differences that really make this decision hard. We'll talk about the safeties. Go ahead and get that out of the way. On the Shield, you have the thumb safety, which is very positive. It takes a lot more effort putting that safety on than it does taking it off. It is flush with the gun. So it's not a big gaudy looking thing. I originally had a 9C, which I was going to use for concealed carry, and it was ambidextrous, and those things just stuck out like this, real gaudy looking. So, you know, that's kind of nice. It's flush, but it's, you know, it's easy to get to with your thumb there. Overall feel of the gun, like any M&P that I've ever picked up, it just feels really nice in your hand. It really does. The magazine release is not ambidextrous, or you cannot reverse it. So that's something to keep in mind. On the XDS, you have your grip safety, trigger tap safety on the M&P as well, and then your internal safety. So you have the grip safety. Now, does that change the way it feels? I don't think so. If you have a good grip on the gun, I don't see that changing a lot at all. You have an aggressive style texturing on the grip, but all these corners are rounded off, so it doesn't poke you as bad as it, you know, it might seem like it would. On the M&P, I have the Talon grips, but it's still that smooth kind of texturing. So it's a positive and a negative either way you look at it. I mean, this I guess could slip out of your hand, you know, maybe at some point where this might grab you a little bit better, but you know. But as far as that, yeah, like I said, the grip safety, which is an issue to some people, is along with the manual safety, which is an issue. For me, neither one is an issue. The controls on both guns are very small and out of the way, but yet easy to get to when you need them. So that's really nice. Talk about sights. The XDS has of course, your fiber optic, which is different. So it picks up really nice. I like that. And then on the M&P, you have your standard 3-dot sights, which honestly I can't tell you which one I almost feel like I like the fiber optic just because I think it looks a little bit better, but I like these sights just as much, if not better, honestly. The takedown of the guns is very easy as well. you guys have seen this a lot, but I'll show you. On the shield, the takedown lever rotates down. You can flip your little lever on the inside of the gun, or you can just dry fire it. It comes apart. On the XDS, your slide stop, or your takedown lever rotates up. You have to dry fire it, and it comes off just like that. Now the internals and everything are pretty similar. The only thing I did notice, and I feel like it's pretty important, and I don't know how much this will show up on camera or that you can tell, but this is the Springfield and this is the M&P coil spring, and the XDS definitely seems like it's built a lot better. It just feels like better quality to me. You know, we'll tell over time, you know, how well they hold up, but you know, this definitely, this is the XDS. It definitely seems better than the M&P. Which kind of leads me to my next point. Just the manual of arms of both guns. Putting it back together, of course, is very simple. Put these back together. So yeah, like I was saying, the manual of arms on these guns is very different feeling. On the XDS, when you wrap the slide, it feels very smooth. It doesn't feel like it hangs up anywhere. I mean, it feels very smooth. On the M&P, it kind of bothers me just because it just feels, you get it back to a certain point. Let's see. And you feel like you have it all the way, and really you don't. You got to pull just a little bit more. Now, how much of this is an issue to you? Maybe not a lot at all. But to me, it doesn't seem as smooth of operation as the XDS. So that's something to keep in mind. You know, I mean, if you know, as far as hand strength things and you know, issues like that go, the XDS might be a better fit for you. You know, I would definitely recommend picking these guns up, shoot them if you can, and you know, do your manual of arms and play around with them a little bit, because they are definitely different feeling when we're talking about that. It's just a lot easier gun to charge. You know, I don't know why. The magazines are different too. On the XDS, when you put in a magazine, it's you know, it's easy to put in. There's no catching, no nothing, anything like that. But the magazine release is very positive, so you have to intentionally release that magazine. On the M&P, it's a little bit different. I don't know why. Putting the magazine in takes a little bit more effort. Now, when these things are loaded, that's when you can really tell. But the magazine release on this one is a lot more, it's a lot easier, I guess, to get that magazine out of there. Don't know how much of a difference that makes. It's just something to play around with and just see if you can. Talk about a important issue here in the churs. On the M&P, you literally have just a little bit of take up and it stops. And when it breaks, it breaks. There's no kind of creep or nothing. So you have take up, there, stop, break. Okay, very nice. On the reset, if you can hear that. It sounds like it resets, but it really doesn't. There's the reset. So that's just something to get used to there. I don't know why it does it. Maybe with a little bit more brake in it, it'll get a little bit better. I'm not sure. But like I said, as far as the brake, very clean, very predictable, and I like that. I like that a lot. The reset, you know, audible, and you know, you can pretty much tell where it's at. On the XDS, of course, you have your trigger tap safety, take up, and again, it stops. You know where it's going to stop. You have a little bit of creep, and then it breaks. So not a whole lot of creep. It just, and then the reset. You can definitely tell where the reset is on this one. Right there, and you're back in action. Break. Reset. So again, yeah, definitely take some time and rent these guns if you can, if you're trying to make a decision. You do have a rail on the XDS. On the M&P, you don't have a rail. It's kind of a beveled. I assume that's for reholstering purposes, make it a little bit easier. I'm not sure though. So if this is going to be your only gun purchase, let's say you go with the XDS, you know, it is possible that you can take this and put you a light or a laser, whatever you want on it. Kind of fits a bunch of different roles. Obviously, the main role for both of these guns is concealed carry. But what I've found great about them is I have shot them both, and when me and my wife shot them, they were a pleasure to shoot. They really were. It didn't, you know, it wasn't like you were taking an LCP or, you know, a Kel-Tec or DB9 or whatever. Not to say those are bad guns, but those aren't guns that you're going to want to take to the range and have fun shooting them. They're just not. But these guns right here are small enough, thin enough to where they are comfortable to conceal carry, and when you take them to the range, you're going to have a good time. So, and you know, they are our home defense weapons as well. So they kind of fit all these different roles. Now, are they the best home defense weapons? No, definitely not. But this is what we have, and I feel adequately armed at home and outside when I carry either one of these. So that's something to keep in mind. They're not the smallest gun, definitely not the lightest guns, but they can fit a bunch of different roles, which is nice. You get more for your money. And if you can't buy a whole lot of guns, that's pretty important. So just keep that in mind as well. As far as shooting, I am going to be doing a shooting video. Like I said, this is just kind of out of the box and what you get and that kind of thing. So we'll kind of show some of the recoil and the trigger and that kind of stuff then. But like I said, yeah, these both of them are really good. As far as which one I would pick, I haven't shot them enough yet to really make that determination. I can tell you that the M&P inside the waistband is definitely more comfortable to carry. I don't know why, it just feels a little bit better. But like I said, I don't know yet. I don't know which one I would if I just had to choose one, I really don't know. I like the way this one feels. Manual of arms, like I said, just doing all that, you know, I like the way it feels better. One thing I didn't talk about is the loaded chamber indicator. Both of them have them. And obviously this one has the little doohickey that pops up there. Shows you when you got a round in there. I don't necessarily care for that, but you know, it doesn't stick way up here, so that's nice. And this one has the little peephole where you can see in there, which I definitely prefer that. So yeah, the weight, I don't know if I talked about the weight, but the shield is 19.5 ounces, 20 ounces, and the XDS is like 21, no, it's like 23 on the 9mm, 21.5 on the 45. So you do have a little bit of weight there. Can I tell? A little bit, not much at all. But I can tell a difference. The side by side there, that's the biggest thing right there. That's what you pay for. That's what makes these guns great. Is just the thinness of them. I believe the specs is the XDS is 0.9 and the Shield is 0.95, but basically a little less than an inch thick, both of them, and that's where they really excel. And they feel great in your hands too. So it's not like you have a little tiny gun you don't feel like you could do a whole lot with. They feel like real guns. So yeah, hopefully this video helped some of you guys out. If you like it, press the thumbs up button, subscribe, leave your comments below. Thanks for watching.